Good morning, mathematicians. Okay, so let's start today by doing some fluency exercises. First of all, push count 6 for me. That's right, 6. Push count 8 for me. 8. Good. Push count 12. 10 and 2. Push count 14. Good. 14 is 10 and 4. Push count 16. 10 and 6. Good. Keep practicing that while you can, okay? All right. So we're going to review our number bonds. If you remember last week, I introduced you to something that looks like this. Okay? Yeah, I have a little owie on my finger. I cut it. Oh, chopping up some food this morning. Anyway, okay, so here's our number bond. This circle that is connected to both of the other circles is the whole. Okay? And these circles represent the parts. Okay, so one way to show that would be, let's pretend Blake and Ellen were shopping together and they walked by a store that had the most delicious looking cupcake in it. They both wanted it so badly, but the cupcake cost 5 pennies and Blake only had 3 pennies and Ellen only had 2 pennies, so they couldn't each get their own cupcake, but they realized that Blake's 3 pennies and Ellen's 2 pennies would together make how many? 5, that's right. Okay, so get out your whiteboards and your pennies and help me do some of these number problems with me. So right now we have 5 pennies in our top to show the whole. That's how much their cupcake cost, was 5 pennies. And now show me the parts that came together to make the whole. That's right. Blake had 3 pennies and Ellen had 2 pennies. Okay, can you think of another way that if they each had not enough pennies to buy their own cupcakes, what's another way that these pennies could be divided to show them coming together to make 5? That's right. We could say Blake had 1 penny and Ellen had 4 pennies. And together 1 and 4 make, let's just make sure. Do 1 and 4 make our whole, which is 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's right, it does. Okay, and there's another way. We had 2 and 3, 1 and 4. There's another way they could. This is a little trickier. 5 and 0. That would mean Blake would have to be a really nice friend and split the cupcake with Ellen just to be nice, because Ellen didn't have any money. Okay, so now let's say, sorry, I'm going to my page here. Let's say Eames and Emma were at the store and they wanted to buy, they got so hungry, they wanted to buy a pizza. The pizza cost, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pennies. Pizza costs 7 pennies. How could we show the two of them coming together to share the cost of the pizza? How can we have them each have a part of the total cost of the pizza? Let's try a few different ways. Let's say Eames had 2 pennies, and you can do this along with me. You should have your whiteboard and pennies too. Eames has 2 pennies. Now show me how many pennies over here did Emma have to help buy the pizza? How many pennies did Emma have? If Eames had 2, how many pennies did Emma have to help buy a pizza that costs 7 pennies? We can figure that out by just moving all of these pennies into the circle and counting them. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Emma had 5 pennies. Eames had 2 pennies. Now let's just make sure. 2 and 5 make 7. How can we do that? How can we make sure our 2 parts equal the whole? That's right, we can move them back together and make sure we still have 7. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yay, it worked. What's another way? Why don't you all take a minute and think of another way? We had 2 and 5. Show me another way Eames and Emma could share the cost of the pizza that costs 7 pennies. Okay. You could do that without even really counting any of these pennies. You could just put your hands here and split. Let's see, we already did that one. You just randomly split them to show the 2 parts that make up the whole. The way I split it was 1 and 6. Because 1 and 6 make 7. I didn't take any pennies away or add any. These 2 numbers are just showing together they make this circle, the total. Okay, let's do another way. We have 1 and 6, 2 and 5. What's another way we could have Emma and Eames share the cost of a pizza? Okay, let's try it. We could do 3 and, remember, I don't really even need to count them yet. I could just go like this and then count them. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there are a couple more ways. Let's try it. Can anyone think of, actually no, I think there's just one more way. Another way we could do it is switching them. Woo-hoo-hoo. Now we have 4 and 3. Or we could have switched the way we had done it before and we could do 6 and 1. Or we could do 5 and 2 instead of 2 and 5. These, you can just always switch them to give you another way of making the total number. But the last way, of course, is, what if Eames had all of the money? And Emma didn't have any over here. But Eames was so kind. He said, "That's okay, I'll buy the pizza, Emma. I have how many pennies to equal 7? That's right. I have 7 pennies. I have the whole amount," says Eames. Then he shares the pizza with Emma. Okay, so for some of the work that you're going to be doing, We will keep revisiting this over and over and over again because I know it can be pretty complicated and confusing. So don't worry if you don't have it yet. It's going to take a while for us to just keep doing these and doing the worksheets together. So we are going to do another worksheet today. It's just your homework. It's on page, oh shoot, I have the wrong book. I'll send it to you in an email. But it's the lesson 1 homework and it has some fish on it. Okay? And the fish are different colors. And it's saying to separate your fish by different colors. So the first one has 1 black fish and 2 goldfish. If we have 1 blackfish and 2 goldfish, what's our number that's going to go in here? If we were going to draw the fish in here, how many would we draw? That's right. It's going to be 3. And we can show that. We could go like this to show it. And we just move these parts into the hole. Or in the case of this homework, you're going to have your 1 blackfish and your 2 goldfish, and you're going to draw how many fish are in here by just drawing 3. So each circle is going to have a number in it. Okay? So what if I had 2 blackfish and 2 goldfish? How many fish am I going to draw in here? That's right. I am going to have 4 in here. Okay? And then at the bottom of this homework, it's going to say blank and blank make blank. This is called a number sentence. Okay? And I'm going to write, oh shoot, do I have my pen? Hold on one second. I thought I had my dry erase pen, but I don't, so I'm just going to use a piece of paper. Okay, so it'll say something like this. There'll be a square, and blank make blank. Okay, so for the first one, see how it says square and square make square. Is that what we're going to leave it as? No. We have to put in amounts here. So for the very first fish problem that you see, remember it was 1 blackfish and 2 goldfish. And your number bond will look something like this to show 1 blackfish, 2 goldfish make 3 fish. Okay, so the numbers that you fill in here would be 1 and 3 make, oh shoot, sorry, 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Sorry, it's messy. Hopefully you can see that. 1 and 2 make, what's that top bubble? What number's in there? 1 and 2 make 3. Okay? Yours are going to look the same as this. Just make sure you're counting everything that they're asking you to count and put in the totals. Okay? And if you have any questions, you can let your parents know and they can send me a message and I can help try to clarify anything for you if anything's confusing here. We're just going to keep working on this. So if you don't get it today, don't worry about it. We're just going to keep on doing it until you really feel comfortable with it, okay? But don't hesitate to ask any questions if you need, okay? All right. Thank you, everyone, for sticking with me in math using the video. It's very interesting, isn't it? All right. Well, I hope you're having fun and you're comfortable in your own home. All right. I miss you all so much.